The UFL kicks off this Friday night, and it is going to be an exciting weekend as we head into Memorial Day here in the US. And quite frankly, I think that we are going to see some pretty good games. Despite the fact, as we announced yesterday, the USFL and XFL Conference Championship games have been confirmed and their locations, so everything is set in stone other than who will actually be in first place and who will be in second. I think we're going to start seeing more of the four teams that are in the playoffs maybe start to pull back a little bit and rest some of their starters, or even potentially start showing up in different ways that we have not seen before to kind of confuse these other teams going into the playoffs, kind of like we saw with the Houston Roughnecks and the Arlington Renegades in 2023 in the XFL, where they played each other in Week 10 and then had to play each other in the South Division Conference Championship game. And when that happened, we noticed there was a lot of times where they didn't show up, they didn't even play the same that they were going to play in the playoff game, and I think that this is kind of what we're going to see going forward. Now, with the first game on Friday night, the San Antonio Brahmas, who are 1-7, are at the St. Louis Battlehawks, who are 6-2. This game, St. Louis, Missouri, the Dome at America Center, Friday, May 23rd, 2025, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Then we move to the first Saturday game, and that is the 12 o'clock game. The Arlington Renegades, who are 3-5, at the Memphis Showboats, who are 2-6. This game from Memphis, Tennessee, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, Saturday, May 24th, 2025, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Now, of course, both games on Saturday will be on ABC. I'm looking forward to this game in particular. I'm curious to see, now that we know that Arlington is out, there's been some ruffles with obviously their offense, of how they've played. The defense has been amazing. Last week, this team was solid up until the very end of the game in a weird decision to essentially kick or go for it instead of essentially downing the ball and then kicking the field goal to tie the game. They go to overtime, whatever the case may be. I think that we are going to see a lot more of their offense. Could see their backup in Athlers, or however you say his name, in for them. And curious to see what exactly the Showboats do. They are coming off a win last Friday night, and quite frankly, I'm curious to see what happens in this game. Then we move on to the game that comes on right after the Renegades and Showboats, and that is the big matchup. The Michigan Panthers, who are 6-2, facing off with the Birmingham Stallions, who are 5-3. This game, Birmingham, Alabama Protective Stadium, Saturday, May 24th, 2025, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific Time on ABC as well. These are back-to-back games. This game will technically, even though we know it is going to be in Birmingham, Alabama at Protective Stadium. This is a preview of the USFL Conference Championship game, which we've seen quite a bit in the last few years of the USFL and the UFL. But I'm curious in this game here because, technically speaking, if Birmingham wins this game, that automatically would put them into that first place slot, because they would have the tiebreaker here because they had defeated the Panthers twice this year. Either way, it doesn't matter, but it would then automatically take out that perspective of the whole Ford Field situation, and this game would be a home game for the Birmingham Stallions heading into the conference championship in just over about 2.5 weeks from now, from when I'm recording this video. This game, again, Michigan Panthers, Birmingham, Alabama, Protective Stadium, Saturday, May 24th, 2025, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on ABC. Tune in. I think this will be a very good game, and I'm curious to see what we see out of both of these teams in the perspective that they are facing off 2 weeks later in the championship. Then we move on to Sunday's game, the final game of Week 9. The DC Defenders, who are 6-2, heading to Houston to face the 3-5 Roughnecks. This game, Houston, Texas, TDECU Stadium, Sunday, May 25th, 2025, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Now, I'm curious to see this game in particular. DC obviously clinching the playoff spot. They're facing Houston, who CJ Johnson at this point, in my opinion, is fighting for his job. If he can successfully beat a 6-2 team, it bodes very well, especially with Jalen McClendon. I am curious to see what happens with CJ Johnson going into next year. I know a lot of people wanting him gone this year, but there's been a lot of an improvement to the Houston Roughnecks since they got their whole team in place, but we also know that that doesn't always resort to carrying over to the following year. So I'm curious to see what happens here, but I'm telling you, I think Houston is going to play their heart out to no end in this game. I look forward to it. But again, let me know in the comments what you think about these games, and make sure if you can attend any of these games in person, make sure you attend them. Support your teams, and then, of course, if you can't, make sure you watch it on TV this weekend as we head into a holiday weekend. So we'll see you back here tomorrow for the attendance and TV ratings for Week 8, and we'll see you on the flip side. Have a great one, everyone.